Hey, it's Mark Leonard with your video thought for the day. Great things can happen on mountains. I'm looking at mountains this week as my video thought for the day. And I want to talk about two separate mountain incidences that have been profound in their ramifications. Well, not just for you and me, but for history, for the development of civilization. These are very profound moments. The first is when Moses ascends Mount Sinai. The story is detailed in Exodus. Moses ascends Mount Sinai, and this is after he's led the Israelites out from Egypt, and they get to Mount Sinai. And while he is on Mount Sinai, God gives Moses the law for Israel. Maybe seminal to that law and certainly core within it are those 10 commandments that we still look to today to help us understand appropriate morality. Ideas of not stealing, ideas of family commitment, ideals of telling the truth and being honest. These bedrock foundations of civilization have been modeled after and come from those 10 commandments and the law that was given by God to Moses. Now, contrast that, maybe not contrast, but keep that in one hand while you look with the other hand at the New Testament. Because in the New Testament, you have Jesus ascending a mountain and also giving bedrock, fundamental ideas, moral codes, comprehensive schemes for living that to some extent explain the law of Moses, but to some other extent show an even more intense level of scrutiny on what it means to be holy before a holy God. So Moses will say, don't commit adultery, but Jesus will say, don't even do it in your heart. Moses will say, don't murder. Jesus will say, don't even do it in your heart. Jesus, in his Sermon on the Mount, as it's called, will talk about people being blessed if they hunger and thirst for righteousness. And so he's seeking to dig deeper. Don't simply try to be a rule follower, but have a deep desire for what's behind those rules, the righteousness that is to be sought after. Jesus will say, blessed are the merciful, because they're going to receive mercy. Jesus, again, makes this drive into attitudes. Jesus drives into attitudes when he says, blessed are the pure in heart, because they'll see God. Moses, that was his big request. I'd like to see you, God. That was what he asked God on the mountain. God says, I'm too pure, you can't see me and live. So he kind of hides, Moses hides in the cleft of a rock, and God kind of puts his hand over and passes by in his brilliance, and Moses gets to see the trail of God, if you will. But there's a real sense where we understand God better, even if we're not physically seeing him. We understand God better, and in that sense, see God the more we're pure in heart. It's this drive by Jesus to get beyond the external do's and don'ts of the rules into the motivations and thoughts that drive us to better walk in holiness. So I'm thinking mountains. I'm thinking follow the rules. I'm also thinking get my attitude right. And I hope you do too, because this is your video thought for the day.